Welcome to our doubts clarification session. Here, all the doubts expressed by the students, we are making one video. In part of that, this problem in a batting, 70% of the combustants lost one eye, 80% an ear, 75% an arm, 85% a leg, X percentage lost all the four limbs. The minimum value of X is what? You see, my dear students, how we are going to do this particular problem, right? Okay, we have here now you see, my dear students, number of persons does not lost an eye. Okay, the persons which do not lost an eye means, so from 100 we subtract 70% of the combustants lost an eye. From 100 if we subtract 70, 30% of the persons does not lost any eye, like this, right? Similarly, number of persons does not lost an ear. That means from 100 we subtract 80%. From that we will get 20% of the people does not lost any ear, like this. Next, number of person does not lost an arm is nothing but 100 minus 75%, because 75% lost an arm. That's why 100 minus 75 will give you 25% does not lost an arm. Next, number of persons does not lost a leg is 100 minus 85%, that equal to 15%. Now, X percentage lost all the four limbs. How we are going to get now the minimum value of X, they are asking. X percentage lost all the four limbs means, now what we do is from 100%, okay, 100 minus, what we do is X is equal to the value of X percentage is equal to 100 minus this 30% does not lost. 100 minus 30 minus 20 minus 25 minus 15, if you take these don't lost, these people does not lost anything. Okay, if we subtract those all, then we will get remaining thing is nothing but who lost all the four limbs, and that becomes the minimum value. That is nothing but now 100 minus this percentage, 100 minus that 50 and 90. This is now 100 minus 90%, like this. That equal to 10%. Therefore, the minimum value of X is nothing but here you are going to get 10. See how beautifully we have got, my dear students. This particular problem is what means these all people, this percentage will give you who do not lost. From lost we subtract who do not lost. That will give you that the percentage who lost all the four limbs. That means 100 minus 90, that equal to 10%. X is equal to 10 is the minimum value you are getting for this particular problem. Now see, my dear students, another interesting problem what we have here. The students have asked how many 3-digit numbers have at least 1 2 and at least 1 3 is dash. How this is a very interesting and very this was asked in many competitive exams also. See how we are going to do is first how many 3-digit numbers we have here. Okay, total 3-digit numbers. Okay, total 3-digit numbers. Actually, they start from 100 to 999. That means totally we have here 900 3-digit numbers are there. Okay, now total number of numbers not having 2 at all, okay, among these 3-digit numbers, the total number of numbers not having 2. How we are going to do this, my dear students? We have a 3-digit number. Actually, we have a 3-digit number. See how I am going to explain this fact to you. How I am going to explain this fact to you is, right, we have here, yeah, we will write actually a 3-digit number we have here like this. In this 3-digit number here, okay, 0 we will not use here. This is actually units digit, tens digit and the thousands digit. Units digit, tens digit, thousands digit. We know we want the total number of numbers not having 2 here like this. Okay, not having a 2. Okay, how we are going to get that is, now you see, my dear students, how we are going to get that means, right, here 0 and 2 we should not use here. Actually we are having totally how many digits actually? 0, 1, 2, 3, so on up to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, these are total 10 digits. We should not use 2. Here this is the hundreds digit. We should not use 0. If you use 0 here, it will be no more 3-digit number. This is unit digit, tens digit, 100 digit. 0 and 2 we should not use here. That means there are 8 possibilities for this hundreds digit. Now for this tens digit we should not use 2 because the number of numbers not having 2. We should not use 2. If you take out 2, remaining 0 also we can use. Therefore 9 possibilities are there for this. And even for unit digit also we should not use 2. Remaining all 9 numbers we can use. Therefore the total number of possibilities is nothing but 8 into 9 square, like this, right? 8 into 9 square. Total number of numbers not having 2 is nothing but 8 into 9 square. Next, in the same way, total number of numbers not having, right, 3. Total number of 3-digit numbers here not having 3. The same concept here also you are going to get 8 into 9 square. Okay, the same concept here, my dear students. Okay, this is unit digit, tens digit, hundreds digit. Here you should not use 0 and 3 here also. Okay, 0 and 3 means there are totally 8 possibilities here you have here. Now for tens digit you should not use 3. You should not use 3 means remaining 9 digits. 9 means this is what 9 possibilities we have here, like this. Here also, okay, for unit digit also you should not use 3. That means remaining 9 you can use. That means 8 into 9 square we have here, like this, nicely. Next, total number of numbers not having, total number of 3-digit numbers. These are all total number of 3-digit numbers. 3-digit numbers not having 2 and 3. 2 and 3. That is what we want, like this now. 2 and 3. Now total number of 3-digit numbers not having 2 and 3. Now this is unit digit, tens digit, hundreds digit. We should not have 2 and 3. 2 and 3 means here in this hundreds digit 0 is not eligible. If you use 0 it will be no more 3-digit number. Therefore 0, 2, 3 we should not use here. That means how many possible numbers? Remaining 7. Out of 10, 3 if you subtract, 7 possibilities here. Here into, here you should not use 2 and 3. 0 you can use. That means 8 possibilities. Here also 8 possibilities you have here, like this. Therefore the total number, now what I am doing is, okay, actually this is n of a. N of a is equal to total number of numbers not having 2. N of b equal to total number of numbers not having 3. N of a intersection b is nothing but total number of 3-digit numbers not having 2 and 3. This is n of a, n of b, n of a intersection b. We want now n of a union b. That means n of a plus n of b minus n of a intersection b. That means 648 plus 648 minus 448. That is 848. N of a union b is nothing but what? Total number of 3-digit numbers. They are having either 2 or 3, right? Which do not have either 2 or 3. Which do not have either 2 or 3. Now from this if we subtract, right, my dear students, from the total number of numbers, if you subtract now, okay, the total number of 3-digit numbers are what? 900. 900, if you subtract 848, okay, the numbers do not have either 2 or 3, like this. Okay, from 900 if you subtract 848, right, you will get 52 is the answer. 52, option A is the answer for this. Like this we will be doing this particular problem. Now see, my dear students, this problem, let us equal to set of all sets in mathematics. How they defined the relation A and B are 2 sets we have here. A related to B means A is subset of equal to B. A subset of B, where A belongs to S and B belongs to S. Find the nature of the relation R on S. That means we need to find whether this relation R is reflexive, symmetric, transitive or anti-symmetric, whether it is equivalence relation or a partial ordered relation. We need to check here. How we will be doing this, you see, my dear students. Here first of all they define that A related to B, that means that A related to B means A is subset of B, like this, where, okay, subset A belongs to S and B belongs to S. Now reflexive, let us take first reflexive. Reflexive means what? A should related to A. A should related to A. That means what you will have? A is subset of A. Okay. Every set is subset of itself. That is true in mathematics. Therefore, it satisfies reflexive property. Right? It is reflexive property. Next, second, what we have here like this. Okay. Fine. I think it is better that in the relation this equal to, we won't take a subset, proper subset. We will take here proper subset. Okay. It is a proper subset. Then how it will be like this, right? Fine. Now symmetric. If you have symmetric like this, symmetric means what? If A related to B, then we should prove that B related to A like this. That means if A is subset of B, can you say that? Okay, if A is subset of B, then can you say that B is subset of A? Then okay, we cannot say B is not a subset of A. How can you say that if suppose A is there within there, that is subset of B like this? How can you say that B is subset of A? No, it is not true. Therefore, it is not symmetric. Next, the third one, okay, transitive. We will check transitive. Transitive is what? Here, if A related to B, B related to C, then A related to C. This is what you require to prove like this. Okay, for this what actually A related to B means A is subset of B. B related to C means B is subset of C. Okay, A is subset of B and B is subset of C. Then compulsorily A is subset of C we will have here, because A is present in B. This is A, this is B, and B is subset of C. Now A is subset of C, true, that is true. Therefore it satisfies transitive. Wonderful. Next, let us check that the fourth one, anti-symmetric. Now we check that it is anti-symmetric. Anti-symmetric. What is anti-symmetric property? Means if A related to B, B related to A, then we should prove that A equal to B. Here let us check what we will be having. Okay, let us check here what we have here. A related to B means what? A is subset of B. If A is subset of B and B is related to A and B is subset of A, these both are given, like A is subset of B and B is subset of A. When it is possible, when both are equal, then this is possible only when A equal to B. A is subset of B is given, B is subset of A is given. This is possible only when they are equal. That means A equal to B. That means it satisfies anti-symmetric property. Right? Therefore, my dear students, this relation, you see nicely, it is satisfying reflexive. It's satisfying reflexive. Number 2, symmetric. Anti-symmetric. This is what? Anti-symmetric. It satisfies anti-symmetric. Number 3, it satisfies transitive. Right? It satisfies reflexive, anti-symmetric, transitive. Therefore, this relation, what you call it as partial ordered relation. You call it as partial ordered relation. You see, Nana, my dear students, it is what we call partial ordered relation, like this. Nicely you can say, because this relation is satisfying now reflexive. It satisfies symmetric and transitive. You call this as a partial ordered relation. Any relation satisfies reflexive, anti-symmetric and transitive. You call that as a partial ordered relation. Right? Fine. Now see another problem, this fourth one, let R is equal to, see my dear students, this problem, let R is equal to, they given 1 3 4 2 2 4 2 3 3 1, be a relation on the set A 1 2 3 4. The relation R is dash. It's reflexive, symmetric, transitive, not symmetric. Let us try to answer this question here. What we have here is it reflexive? 1 2 3 4 they given 1 1 2 2 3 3 we don't have, therefore it is not reflexive. Is it symmetric? 1 3 is there, 3 1 is there. Okay, fine. 4 2 is there, 2 4 is there, 2 3 is there, but 3 2 not there. Therefore it is not symmetric. It is not symmetric, no doubt in it. Transitive. Let us see that whether it is transitive. 2 4 4 2 2 2 should be there. Therefore it is not symmetric. It is not transitive. Okay, 2 4 4 2 2 2 should be there. Therefore it is not transitive. Therefore the answer is not symmetric is correct. not symmetric is correct. Now see this problem. If two sets A and B are having 99 elements in common, right? A intersection B equal to, that means here what they have given, okay, n of A intersection B. They have A intersection, okay, 99 elements common means this is what. Then the number of elements common to each of the sets A cross B and B cross A are what? They have A and B are having 99 elements. We need what number of elements common to each of the sets. That means what we want, A cross B intersection B cross A, like this. This is what we require here. The number of elements which are common to A cross B intersection B cross A. This we can write, my dear students, the formula, this we can write A intersection B cross B intersection A. We can write like this, right? And that of course n of A intersection B into n of B intersection A. That means you have here now 99 into 99. That means 99 square elements you will have like this, right? Fine. See, now another doubt they have asked, what is the value of, here we have here cos 2 pi by 15, cos 4 pi by 15, cos 8 pi by 15, cos 14 pi by 15. See, my dear students, how we will do this solution part. Here cos 2 pi by 15, cos A, okay, cos 4 pi by 15, cos 8 pi by 15 we have here. This is 14 pi by 15, we can write as pi minus pi by 15. We can write like this. Now this reduces to cos 2 pi by 15, cos 4 pi by 15, cos 8 pi by 15, cos 180 minus theta, minus cos theta. Therefore, minus cos pi by 15, like this. Now this equal to minus cos pi by 15, right, into cos 2 pi by 15, into cos 4 pi by 15, into cos 8 pi by 15. We can write like this. If you take pi by 15 as A, of course, minus cos A. Dear students, here we have got minus cos pi by 15, cos 2 pi by 15, cos 4 pi by 15, cos 8 pi by 15. We take A equal to pi by 15, right? If you take A equal to pi by 15, now this become minus cos A, cos 2A, cos 2 square A, cos 2 cube A. That become, we have already one formula, cos A into cos 2A into cos 2 square A into cos 2 cube A, so on up to cos 2 power n A equal to sin 2 power n plus 1 A by 2 power n plus 1 sin A. Here n is equal to 3. That's why minus sin 2 power 4 A by 2 power 4 sin A, like this. Right? Now this becomes, what we are going to take is minus sin 2 power 4 is 16. That is 16 pi by 15 by 16 into sin pi by 15. Now we can write this equal to minus of sin 16 pi by 15. We can write as pi plus pi by 15 by 16 into sin pi by 15. Right. And this is equal to sin 180 plus theta minus sin theta. That minus into minus plus, and you are going to get that as sin pi by 15 by 16 sin pi by 15, like this. 16 sin pi by 15. Right? Now if it cancels like this, we have 1 by 16. This is what now? 1 by 16. Here overall the result what we have used is, my dear students, already you know that is what, cos A into cos 2A into cos 2 square A, so on up to cos 2 power n A. This cos 2 power n A is equal to sin 2 power n plus 1 into A by 2 power n plus 1 into sin A, like this. This is the result. There are some students who are confusing also. Suppose if we have this, I take up to, instead of n, if I take n minus 1, like this. Now you will not have this n plus 1, then you will have here n only. Here also you will have only n only, here like this. Because this is nothing but sin, okay, 2 power, okay, here we have n minus 1, that's why n minus 1 plus 1 into A by 2 power n minus 1 plus 1 into sin A, like this. And this of course is equal to sine 2 power n a by 2 power n into sine a, like this. Okay, whether we have n minus 1. Okay, if you have n minus 1 means here you will get sine 2 power n a by 2 power n into sine a. Whereas if you have this as n means, then we will have sine 2 power n plus 1 a by 2 power n plus 1 sine a we are going to have. That's only the thing. No need to confuse, because some students have repeatedly asked me, sir, there n minus 1 is given, here n is given. Whether n minus 1 given or n is given or n minus 2 is given or n plus 5 is given, according to the given thing this will be changing. Okay, Nana? Thank you very much.